Take a moment. Chosen one, to exhale and realize your current location. No, your presence here is not accidental. You were summoned by divine appointment and drawn into this exact time by the hand of heaven. A magical window opens on December 15th, 2026, and you, the Anointed One, are on the verge of a major financial breakthrough that was prepared long before your birth. The Spirit has perfectly linked timing, situation, and revelation, so your arrival here is a fulfilled prophecy. Heaven has been calling your name, Chosen One, preparing you for a sudden ascension in wealth from unseen realms, as well as a transformation that will dramatically alter the direction of your life. This moment is informed by Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, which states that the allotted time will not be postponed. That moment has finally arrived. The heavenly strain, expectation, and trembling that accompany a divine release are already apparent in your spirit. Allow your heart to open while your mind remains serene. Chosen One. This introduction is your spiritual invocation as heaven prepares to move forth. You are in an environment where breakthroughs occur and prophetic destiny begins to unfold, where miracles abound. Do not take this opportunity lightly. Chosen One. What you are currently hearing is more than just a message. It's a divine interruption, a spiritual call, and a supernatural intervention in your life. And if the weight of these words weighs on your spirit, it means that heaven has reached out to embrace you. The line between the visible and the invisible is currently more blurred than it has ever been. The atmosphere around you is shifting in anticipation of the events that God has planned for December 15th, 2026. This date does not appear on a calendar. It is a prophetic turning point, an appointed hour when heaven's decision meets earth's reality and something irreversible happens in your favor. Do not skip now or here. Chosen One. Your spirit is being tuned to a frequency that connects you to a miraculous release with every sound and syllable. I say this with respect because I have been in situations in my life where a single act of obedience changed the trajectory of my entire existence. And the spiritual stirring you are feeling right now, that pull, that burning in your chest, that sense that something is different, is the same one I felt in my darkest hours before breakthrough dawned like dawn. Please remain with me. Heaven is prepared to send something major into your life as you listen. Money, opportunity, and a blessing are not enough. Be aware of something more substantial, something that hits the soul and reorganizes every aspect of your existence so that it no longer resembles the past. You are entering a condition of miraculous alignment which generations of people before you hoped for but never experienced. The type of alignment that Scripture implies when it alludes to the appointed time in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, the moment when the vision finally speaks, manifests, and demonstrates the cause of the delay. Anointed One. You are now more in sync with that planned moment than you have ever been. As I talk, the spiritual frequency in your life is increasing. Your angels, the same angels that guided you through the storms you never told anyone about, are now whispering your name before the heavenly tribunals. They are restoring everything that was stolen from your timeline and healing previous wounds. I can't tell you how many times I felt like I'd missed out on years, seasons, and possibilities. However, when heaven restores, the objects that were taken are not returned. It boosts it. I can sense the same multiplication encircling you right now. Continue to be stationary. Because destiny is writing a new chapter in your story, one that does not repeat your anguish, but instead reflects your strength, one that establishes cycles of favor rather than loss. Although you may not be able to see it at the moment the transformation is already happening, I have had days where I thought nothing was changing. Everything was being reorganized behind the scenes to my benefit. This is your current position even as you speak. The universe is holding its breath for you, chosen one. And the slight chill on your skin and the warmth in your hands are not just figments of your imagination. That provides as proof. Your spirit is receiving clarity, protection, and peace directly from heaven. Something both invisible and undeniable is reshaping the atmosphere around you, a process that human effort can never reverse. Please refrain from scrolling. The alignment grows more stable with each passing second. Every moment you remain, another invisible door opens. Through my personal struggles, I have learned that breakthroughs are rarely announced in a respectful manner. It arrives quietly and subtly like a whisper in the dark. Its voice is only audible to those who stay for a prolonged time. Your presence, chosen one, has continued. You've endured. Despite the fact that silence was more powerful than hope, you have not lost faith. This is the reason heaven is reacting. Your name is currently being referenced in circles of authority, healing, and riches, places where you have not yet tread, yet your destiny has already begun. There were times when I felt invisible, neglected, and forgetful. I was uninformed at the time that God frequently conceals his chosen ones until the right moment. And when that time comes, visibility is not optional, it is mandatory. This is the kind of visibility that is growing for you. The power dynamic in your life is shifting in a subtle but irrefutable way. The denial you received was not completely futile. The outcome was a spiritual refocusing. You were never forcibly removed. You were being positioned. The sound of your breakthrough will soon resonate throughout the entire chamber that disregarded you. During my personal journey, I noticed that previously closed doors reopened without effort. Hearts that were once frozen are now thawing. Opportunities that were previously unavailable have now become abundant. Anointed one, keep your attention here. This moment is not arbitrary. You are seeing the unfolding of divine timing. Your alignment is strengthened with each breath as a current of favor envelops your name. Individuals who have left your life are being spiritually rerouted to witness God's next actions for you. This is not revenge, but rather a revelation. You've been crying in silence for far too long. Today, that silence is broken. Heaven has already begun the process of rewriting your story from scratch, and the transformation you are feeling in your spirit is the result of destiny becoming formed. The number that serves as a potent sign of prosperity is more than just a pronouncement. It reflects the reality that is being lived. A provision that is perpetual. Restoration that is irrevocable. A sense of calm that transcends the circumstances. You were never forgotten. Your preparations were beginning. And now, chosen one, the preparations are finished. The manifestation begins. Selected. As you go deeper into this wonderful moment, remember that heaven is not just watching you, it is orbiting you. The movement of angels allocated to your name is causing the surroundings in which you are seated to change. This transformation is not purely symbolic or theoretical, it is actual and active. Every one of those shifts eventually exposed itself as a doorway I had no idea had opened, and I've been through nights when I felt nothing in the natural, but knew something was going on in the unseen. The same invisible gateway is now available for you. The frequency of your life is being modified to coincide with the release that God has decreed for December 15th, 2026, a date that was recorded in heaven's records long before you realized its significance. You may not feel prepared or qualified yet. Divine timing does not rely on human preparation. It is dependent on spiritual alignment which surrounds your spirit like a mantle that was always meant for you to wear. Anointed one. The tears you weep in private are being collected and changed into favors that will help you in public. I am conscious of the feeling of being unnoticed, of putting effort and praying without yielding tangible results. However, those hidden seasons serve as the basis on which God builds your rise. Your hiding was not a type of punishment. Rather, it was a form of protection that allowed you to grow the strength to bear the load of the upcoming blessing. A divine algorithm is rebuilding your destiny in real time while you listen. The pull of your new spiritual frequency will draw people who had previously ignored you back to you, not for affirmation, but because your destiny requires witness. Breakthrough's purpose is not to keep silent, but to provide testimony. I've seen God bring back people who had previously ignored me, not for the goal of reconciliation, but for illumination. This allowed them to see the person I'd become in situations where they had written me off. The same revelation is unfolding around you, and heaven is ready to unveil you at the optimal time. Do not be surprised if unexpected messages arrive previously, closed chances resurface quietly, or favoritism arises in regions where you never applied. Every unanswered question from your history is being braided into a pattern that now leads to purpose, and your life is being used as a canvas for God's glory. You are entering a season in which no effort will be wasted, no move will be haphazard, and no delay will be insignificant. The strands of your journey are coming together to build a tapestry of elevation. Stay present, chosen one. A big event is occurring in the backdrop of your name. If you feel pressure, heat, or silence, understand that these are not coincidences. They are affirmations. Now the silence around you is sacred, since heaven frequently speaks loudest in the silence. The invisible realm has opened a gate, and the sensation you're feeling is the flow of spiritual resources into your time frame. This is why distractions suddenly become more acute, exhaustion strikes unexpectedly, and your spirit is both agitated and still. The enemy does not target moments that are not significant. The size of the wealth approaching you is demonstrated by the resistance you are encountering. Throughout my life, I've noticed that the most significant warfare has always come before the most significant transformation, and the same cycle is now being shown to you. The impending breakthrough is far too crucial to keep hidden. It carries the weight of restoration, the echo of answered prayers, and the aroma of long-awaited success. Don't overlook the internal shift that is occurring. You are not just receiving a benefit, you are also accepting the duty of stewarding it. You will no longer be intimidated by what once overwhelmed you. Your energy will no longer be available to what previously exhausted you. This is the starting point of destiny's spiritual progress and maturity. Anointed one, your spirit is no longer in survival mode. It is moving into creation mode, in which your intuition is in sync with divine guidance, your decisions are sharpened by clarity, and ideas flow freely. Pay attention to inner whispers, nudges, and startling revelations that appear too obvious to be coincidental. These are divine hints that guide your path. I've come to understand that spiritual transitions are rarely dramatic. They have a natural quality, like unformed thoughts or unearned peace. That serenity is still engulfing you. The stream of favor grows stronger as you stay. You are losing weight. Disappointments that were formerly deemed irreversible are now disappearing. You are approaching a point in time when the old version of yourself can no longer keep up with the new version of yourself, and the new version of you cannot be ignored. Everything within you is rising to meet the transition, which is not approaching. It has already occurred. Selected. As you continue to remain in this developing presence, remember that the events happening within you are just as important as those happening outside of you. Divine alignment always begins inwardly before it manifests externally, and your inner reality is currently being remade with the precision of heaven's own hand. I recall seasons when I felt a shift within myself before any changes in my reality. I was unable to explain the problem. However, I sensed that my perspective on life, pressure, opportunity, and even myself was shifting. You are currently at the same spiritual threshold. Your intellect is letting go of old anxieties, your heart is letting go of the weight of past disappointments, and your spirit is rising to meet God's elevation on December 15th, 2026. You are not getting closer to this precious date. You are being taken step by step towards what was intended for you, escorted by a presence that will not allow you to settle for anything less. Selected. Taking a slow, deep breath can help your consciousness settle into this truth. Your delays were not denials and were not a waste of time. Every time you wondered if God had forgotten your name, heaven was setting the stage for your reveal. I've gone through years when it appeared that nothing was happening, only to discover that everything was in flux beneath the surface. The quiet you experienced was the furnace of your construction, and God frequently builds in silence what he later exposes in grandeur. That is why your blessing will not break, nor will your elevation collapse. You were strengthened in seasons when no one clapped, purified in moments when no one understood, and formed in encounters when no one saw. The prize for your effort is now on the horizon, much like the sun rising after the longest night. You may feel an unexplained warmth, a stirring in your spirit, or a tug on your chest. This acts as divine confirmation. The energy you are feeling is not emotional. It is energy of alignment. Heaven is merging with your chronology, synchronizing your acts with divine timing and removing traces from earlier cycles. I've had the impression of God intervening in your life and changing what you thought to be permanent. Opportunities that appeared to be closed suddenly become open. Relationships that drained you end peacefully. Individuals you never imagined meeting emerge at the exact moment your goal needs their presence. Divine orchestration manifests itself in this way, not via chaos, but through clarity, not through force, but through flow. You, the Anointed One, are currently joining that flow. Everything that was formerly resistive to you is now losing its grip. The divine decree is breaking down the spiritual walls that have stifled your advancement. Your emotions may become more buoyant, your thoughts clearer, and your anxieties less intense. These are not accidental enhancements. They are signs that the previous season has ended. Your spirit recognizes it even before your head does. You are no longer in a condition of transition. Instead, you are undergoing a significant shift. Transformation transforms you. Transition propels you. This remaking is not superficial. It is a fundamental shift in the frequency you generate and the environment you attract. Choose in one, pay attention to the small confirmations that surround you. Numbers may recur with exceptional regularity, and specific dates, names, or symbols may capture your attention with uncanny consistency. Patterns are forming. These are not ordinary coincidences. They are signals embedded in your surroundings, echoes from the skies that serve to convince you that your activities are being guided precisely. I've been through seasons where the signs were so relentless that they couldn't be ignored. They communicated more clearly than words, directing my decisions, protecting my path, and preparing me for gifts I didn't yet understand. You are now undergoing such a period. Heaven communicates with you in a variety of ways, including spiritual resonance, timing, and intuition. It is fairly uncommon for old wants to fade as this alignment grows stronger. It is possible that what was previously significant will no longer seem relevant. The anxiety that formerly plagued you is no longer in control of you. God has enhanced your spirit as proven by this. You are vibrating at a greater frequency and are no longer tolerant of things that drain you. The people God is removing from your life were affiliated with a version of you that no longer exists. God's closing doors were related with pathways that would have lessened your calling. God is bringing you toward silence which is not empty, but rather a forerunner to riches. Something exceptional is approaching your life with quiet determination. You're moving from survival to prosperity, expectation, to reception and ambition to possession. Heaven is positioning every necessary element to ensure that nothing, absolutely nothing, is out of place when December 15th arrives and the atmosphere surrounding your journey begins to ripen. You are approaching the world of miracles where your faith connects with God's plan and everything undergoes simultaneous alteration. Selected. As this divine stream continues to flow around you, remember that you are not only being prepared for a blessing, you are also being prepared to deliver a huge blessing. The yearning for height is ubiquitous, but only a few people are physically prepared to shoulder the load that elevation entails. Nonetheless, you, the Anointed One, are unique among the multitude. Others would not have been able to bear the seasons of stretching, pruning, and refining that your spirit has been through. While you pondered the rationale for life's enormous strain, heaven was strengthening the foundation of your soul, allowing you to withstand the impending tests without breaking. This is why the 15th of December 2026 is so essential in your destiny. It is more than just a date. It is a heavenly intersection where every prayer, sacrifice, and act of obedience culminates in a supernatural release that rewrites the landscape of your existence. Listen carefully. Chosen One. It's likely that you're currently experiencing an interior alteration, such as a peaceful anticipation or a realization of clarity that goes beyond your thinking. That is your spirit acknowledging something your head has not fully realized. The next chapter of your life is more than just an improvement. It is such a profound transition that you will struggle to reconcile who you were with, who you are becoming. I've had comparable experiences when the change was so internal that it seemed like nothing was happening. In actuality, heaven was fostering an innovation that would eventually revolutionize everything. This moment carries the same spiritual stamp. You're being transformed from the inside out. You may not fully realize the way in which the divine realm is becoming closer to you. It manifests as sudden tranquility, surprising strength, completely formed ideas, or waves of tranquility that wash over you regardless of your surroundings. These occurrences are not accidental. They demonstrate that the spiritual dimension is more active in your life than it has ever been. I recall moments when I felt an unusual warmth in my chest or a sudden sense of calm in my surroundings. I was unable to understand it at the moment. I eventually realized that those instances were miraculous signs that heaven was changing the course of my life. You may be experiencing this experience right now because heaven is hanging over your timeline. You have entered a place where blessings await you, Chosen One. It may be seen as unique because you were the one who sought opportunity, healing, clarity, and answers over a long period of time. However, spiritual gravity has been reversed. You're no longer in pursuit. You're being pursued. This is the result of actual alignment in which your spirit and God's promise reverberate simultaneously. When this happens, the blessings will not wait for your strength. They respond to your obedience. Miracles can happen even if you are imperfect. They respond to your capitulation. Recognize that a great sense of exhaustion is subsiding. This is a holy phenomena. You are being released from conflicts that were never meant to follow you into the following season. Your spirit is being freed from old expectations, worries, attachments, and identities that no longer reflect your changing self. I am aware of the experience of peeling away layers of oneself. I was unaware that I had used up the item. At times it appeared to be a loss, but it was actually a type of release. You are currently feeling the same liberation. Falling away creates space for what is ascending. Pay notice, chosen one to the courage that is supporting you. Observe the method in which your ideas are evolving, the frequency with which clarity is obtained, the duration of tranquility, and the volume of your intuition. Heaven communicates not only with signs and marvels, but also with the inner authority that emerges in your heart. Currently, that authority is expanding. It is acknowledged by the universe. Your guardians acknowledge it. Even your detractors acknowledge this. Something powerful is accompanying you, changing the environment upon your entry in a room. Although folks may be unable to define it, they will experience it. This is the appearance of divine elevation before it manifests. The route ahead is getting clearer, not because life is suddenly easy, but because heaven is removing obstructions you were previously unaware existed. The spiritual resistance that once troubled you is losing its authority. Possibilities are becoming more accessible, and answers are emerging. The connections are aligning. You're rising from the shadows of the previous season and into the light of the current one. This light will show what is no longer meant for you, anointed one, while also illuminating what has been divinely entrusted to you. Something in your future is passionately beckoning to you. It draws you upward, onward, and inward all at the same time. You may feel as if you are ascending even while seated. This is spiritual ascension, or the process of raising one's awareness to a greater level of purpose. Heaven is not just raining benefits on you, it is also elevating your status. You are being prepared to receive with grace, lead with knowledge, and shine with an unwavering light. The future is not susceptible. It has been strengthened by each conflict you have faced. The currents of paradise intensify as the 15th of December approaches. Nothing can stop the flow of your existence as it approaches a moment written by divine hands. Selected. As you continue to advance through this holy unfolding, remember that the shift that is occurring within you is a lifelong one. This level of grace, clarity, and heavenly momentum is not invested in someone who is supposed to stay untouched by heaven. You are being prepped for a spiritual elevation that will have an impact on every element of your life as you are shaped for a higher realm. The reality you are currently experiencing is being discreetly built, and it will soon become so obvious that you will be surprised at how seamlessly heaven has brought everything together. The 15th of December, 2026, is not approaching at random. The long-awaited spiritual appointment is quickly approaching a watershed moment when the course of your destiny is brought into line with God's original design for your life. Every breath you take between now and then brings you closer to achieving a goal that has always been within grasp. Although you may not understand the timing, your spirit receives a response and ascends toward it as if it hears the sound of its own name being called. Selected. You may have noticed that your spirit is now more serene. This is not owing to a lack of passion, but rather because you have left the hustle and bustle of your former season. God frequently begins the process of preparing a person for elevation by removing all sources of distraction that were previously occupying their attention. Conversations that drained your vitality fade. You've lost interest in the struggles that previously characterized you. The concerns that had before troubled you begin to subside. This serenity is not an absence. It's a presence. It is the embodiment of divine strategy that has seized control of your life. Seasons that I recollect felt as if life had come to an abrupt halt in my presence. There was no rush, no chaos, only heavenly quiet. Initially, I had fears about stagnation. I eventually realized that was a type of preparation. The same divine quiet is currently resting on you, and the foundation it is laying within you will soon prove unshakable. The spiritual strain you previously felt has subsided since the warfare linked with your prior season is no longer acceptable in your current one. When heaven alters certain areas of a person's life, the enemy is unable to gain access to them. This change may manifest as a sudden sense of clarity, emotional detachment from previously overwhelming situations, or a renewed sense of inner authority that grows like a silent flame. This is how heaven cleanses the path. Not by compulsion, but by choice. The impediments that once slowed your growth are now in decline, not because they have changed, but because of your own metamorphosis. No earthly resistance can withstand the strength that is rising within you. You are changing into a person who is free of your history and cannot be influenced by previous disputes. Chosen one. An important event is unfolding beneath the surface of your life. God is reconstructing your destiny's spiritual architecture, reordering the invisible, and preparing you for opportunities that are in line with your calling rather than your former restrictions. Relationships may begin to shift in a clear and orderly manner. People whose usefulness in your life has passed will quietly vanish. Those who are meant to follow you into your next season will be drawn to you by a heavenly magnetic force. This is the process by which heaven picks your inner group before unleashing your breakthrough. It is impossible for everyone to witness the miracle that God is about to accomplish for you, and not everyone is meant to be there when it happens. Heaven is ensuring that nothing tainted enters your next chapter, since your elevation requires a purified environment. As you continue through this preparation, you may experience sudden bursts of hope that are out of proportion to your circumstances. This serves as spiritual confirmation. When heaven is close at hand, hope comes first. The hope stated here is not unrealistic. It's foretelling. The murmur of your future bounces back into the present, telling you that the future has already been decided. I am familiar with the feeling of carrying hope that is unreasonable in a logical sense, but obvious in a spiritual sense. That type of optimism is currently lying on your shoulders, as your spirit has already witnessed a breakthrough that your brain has yet to recognize. Chosen one. The cosmos is preparing to acknowledge God's words spoken over your life. Your name is being utilized to reassign blessings. Doors that were once sealed are now being unlocked in peace. You suddenly understand concepts that were before impenetrable. The strength you thought you had lost is resurfacing with even more intensity. This was not an accident. You are entering a new period in which miracles are not happenings, but rather situations, spaces, and atmospheres that you carry with you. This is the distinction between anticipating breakthroughs and actually attaining them. You are currently transitioning to the latter. The spiritual force around your journey grows stronger as the 15th of December approaches. Heaven releases more of you as you get closer to your allotted moment. You may begin to feel an unexpected sense of calm, increased intuition, or a strong sense that something good is on the way. This is not a product of your imagination. Alignment is the term. It has the spiritual perfume of an impending promise. The fulfillment of your heart's long-held wishes is near, and it will not be limited, delayed, or fragmented. Heaven is in the process of providing it. It will be radical, unequivocal, and thorough. You anointed one are on the verge of a divine revelation. Chosen one, as you continue to grow through this divine unfolding, be aware that the spiritual milieu around you is becoming charged with purpose. The shift you're experiencing isn't the consequence of your imagination, emotions, or circumstances. It's metaphysical. It is evidence that heaven has purposefully infiltrated your timeline. As the 15th of December 2026 approaches, this alignment strengthens, sharpens, and solidifies, preparing you for a breakthrough that cannot be delayed or rejected. Each breath you breathe right now brings you closer to aligning with what has already been written about you in the unseen realms. You are entering a unique time in your life, one in which fate extends its hand and instills a force in your spirit that alters the trajectory of everything that follows. Chosen one, take a time to reflect on your progress. Consider the seasons when you carried burdens unbeknownst to others, fought battles in silence, and held your faith with shaky hands. In those instances, you were not vulnerable. You were being strengthened. Heaven doesn't use easiness to shape a warrior. It uses pressure, waiting, and stretching, and each setback you've endured has given you spiritual authority, maturity, and knowledge to receive this next level of benefit. I've been through valleys that seemed impervious to change. Nonetheless, these same valleys later served as the foundation for unexpected miracles. You, the Anointed One, are on the verge of a miracle. The actions of the divine realm are superseding logic. Sometimes you have spontaneous insights that give you a sense of clarity, allowing you to know exactly what to do even when you don't have all of the required knowledge. The Holy Spirit is directing you with a gentle but irrefutable pull. You may notice the presence of calm in situations that previously devoured you. This demonstrates that the territories that formerly caused concern have been absorbed by heaven. Occasionally, you may feel an extraordinary sense of excitement, as if your soul is celebrating something that is not yet visible to your eyes without knowing why. This was not an accident. This is the fulfillment of prophecy inside your body. Understand, Chosen One, that your spiritual ability is developing. Dreams that were formerly thought to be unrealistic are now beginning to become possible. Your identity now looks to be aligned with the goals that formerly terrified you. Opportunities that were once elusive now appear to be within reach. This is the experience of divine acceleration. You are no longer making the same progress as before. You are on track to meet your goal. When heaven accelerates, it bends time around a person. Dissolve any delays. Connections are made quickly. Resources are multiplied. What was once a lengthy procedure now manifests itself in a couple of seconds. You are currently entering the accelerated season. Prepare for odd events to occur. People that were previously unsupportive may now see your worth. People who were suspicious of your talents may stop speaking. Those who once outperformed you may start to fade into the background. This is not an issue of personal preference. It's metaphysical. When God elevates a person, the environment changes to ensure that the elevation lasts. Individuals have vanished from my life without explanation during specific seasons, only to reveal months later that their absence had saved me from harm. Your story also exemplifies divine protection. God is removing all weights, diversions, and covert foes that may obstruct the benefit that is on its way to you. You may also notice that your intuition has improved, Chosen One. Intentions can be discerned before they are spoken. Energy can be detected prior to the appearance of acts. This increased awareness is not a sign of paranoia. Discernment is a spiritual gift that grows in power as one ascends. Heaven does not uplift anyone without first strengthening their vision. You are being given the ability to see beyond the surface, to discern the direction in which God is leading you and the places in which He is warning you. This new sensitivity must be honored. It is one of the most useful tools you'll have in the next chapter. As your spiritual senses develop, you may feel compelled to withdraw from certain situations, conversations, or influences. Isolation is not the goal of this disengagement. It is a rite of consecration. God is drawing your spirit into an uncluttered state of breathing, hearing, and receiving. Many improvements are neglected because people get caught up in the noise that drowns out spiritual counsel. However, you, the Anointed One, are being separated to ensure clarity. Heaven does not require that you be exhausted. It's asking your attention. Your life is meticulously planned, chosen one. You may not understand every adjustment, but you must believe that they are necessary. Heaven is ensuring that the strongest, clearest, and most authentic version of you arises exactly when it is needed by aligning you with opportunities that require it. You will not be taken off guard on December 15th, 2026. It will greet you wholeheartedly as you walk in your authority and are ready to receive what is rightfully yours. You're being lifted, purified, reawakened, and empowered. The shift isn't subtle. It is supernatural, and it will soon be incontrovertible. Chosen one, as you continue to develop in this sacred unfolding, recognize that the shift occurring within you is gaining velocity. The stirring in your spirit has become a constant, undeniable pull toward a higher level of existence. Your soul isn't just regaining consciousness. It is rising. You may feel it in subtle ways, such as a shift in your wants, a settling of old concerns, or a quiet confidence that comes from an unknown source. These sensations are the first echoes of heaven's new personality within you. The spiritual frequency that surrounds your life is expanding as the 15th of December 2026 approaches, preparing you to enter a season that was always meant to bear your name. This transformation is not an accident. It is the result of every tear you shed, every battle you faced, and every time you refused to give up, even when it was easier to do so. Heaven is now reacting with a revelation so profound that it will change the course of your entire existence as the unseen realm witnesses your perseverance. Chosen one. The weight that once rested hard on your heart is beginning to ease as God removes difficulties that were never meant for you to bear in your next season. The emotional weight you formerly considered as normal is disappearing not by effort, but by grace. It's conceivable that you've noticed that events that used to trigger worry are now remarkably tolerable. This indicates that your old patterns are being replaced by divine tranquility. I recall moments when I was convinced that I would never be able to achieve serenity while I fought internal fights. However, once God entered my inner world, I no longer needed the storm to pass in order to feel calm. Peace was initially established, followed by the storm. You are currently experiencing the same miraculous sequence. It is becoming your foundation, not just a temporary visitor. Peace is becoming yours. Heaven prepares you within before elevating you externally. As this spiritual development continues, you may notice a newfound courage, an inner boldness that confronts the limitations you had previously accepted. The audacity in question does not indicate arrogance. It's the dawning. It is the awareness that your purpose was more than just survival. You were made with the desire to achieve dominance, influence, and purpose. Your dreams, which were previously suppressed due to perceived risk or unrealisticity, are emerging. This isn't nostalgia. It's a divine reminiscence. Heaven is reminding you of something your spirit has always understood, but your wounds have forced you to forget. You are entering a period in which your destiny enhances the possibilities that lie ahead of you, rather than constraining you by your history. Chosen one, examine how your perspective on people is changing. Individuals who once intimidated you no longer hold the same level of authority. Your worth is no longer defined by people whose favor you formerly sought. Furthermore, people who have exhausted your energy cannot access previously sensitive portions of your existence. This shift does not indicate emotional detachment. It represents spiritual maturity. You are developing the ability to distinguish between what is intended to last and what is simply meant to pass through your life. I've been through seasons where the loss of certain people was terrible, only to discover later that their absence provided an opportunity for more significant ties to form. The heavens are clearing your atmosphere in preparation for the events that are to come. No unneeded stuff will survive this transfer. In addition, you may have a stronger yearning for clarity. The old questions that devoured you are being replaced by a need for purpose, strategy, and direction. This desire does not represent a condition of perplexity. It's making a call. It is your inner soul that is in sync with the plan that heaven has established for your life from the beginning. Heaven will not accept vague, intense, or unfocused effort as you near your assigned hour. Your intuition is growing stronger, your decisions are getting more precise, and your priorities are becoming clearer. These internal changes are not arbitrary. Your breakthrough will have to be planned, not accidental. These are the indications. Selected. It is vital to prepare for unexpected acceleration. Opportunities that were once thought to be lost may surprise return. Conversations that you did not begin may lead to unexpected chances. Favor may manifest in places where you once felt invisible. The acceleration will not be seen as forced. It will seem effortless, almost natural, because you are no longer struggling. You are achieving alignment. When a person is endorsed by heaven, everything linked with their destiny begins to move toward them. What you previously pursued will now start to pursue you. Your presence will be required by the very thing you pleaded for. What you once feared losing will be replaced with what you were always meant to have. You are entering a domain where miracles are commonplace, spiritual insight guides your acts, and divine timing orchestrates the outcomes. The problems that arise will not impede your advancement, but rather encourage it. Every difficulty you face will reveal a strength within you that you were previously unaware existed. You never had access to wisdom. You never practiced harmony. You'd never considered the possibilities. This is the experience of spiritual maturation. The lack of complexity is not the case. It is the modification of your reaction to it. Selected. This is a fully understood fact. You are being groomed for both a blessing and a new identity. You are becoming a more spiritually sensitive, discriminating, calmer, and bolder person than you have ever been before. You are entering a form of yourself that is more true to your divine mission than any other incarnation you have lived. The 15th of December will mark not just the release of a breakthrough, but also the debut of a new you. Selected. 1. The spiritual intensity of your existence grows with each passing instant as you negotiate this prophetic unfolding. This is not a season of emotional turmoil or chaos. It is a period of divine orchestration. The cosmic alignment that is preparing you for the release of what is set to happen on December 15th, 2026, is reflected in every emotion you are feeling, including every glimpse of optimism, shiver of uncertainty, and surge of inner strength. Heaven is not pressuring you to be afraid or to hurry. Heaven asks that you be spiritually attentive, aware, and present. The impending occurrence is more than just a blessing. It is a rebalancing of your entire destiny. Selected. 1. Consider how you have persisted during each season that was meant to ruin you. Consider the times when you were unable to continue due to tremendous overload, yet you were able to re-energize and continue. The reality is that your goal was never survival, but rather triumph. However, triumph must first be established in the spirit before it can manifest in the natural world. That establishment is underway. Every quiet moment of resilience, every secret prayer, and every tear that brought more hope than agony has helped to lay a foundation within you that nothing and no one can break. I've had periods when I wondered if my breakthroughs would ever happen. However, I eventually realized that heaven was preparing me to not only accept the gift, but also to manage it wisely. You anointed one are being shaped to the same heavenly design. As the procedure proceeds, your emotional responses may change. Situations that used to cause dread are now viewed as doable. Circumstances that were formerly overwhelming are no longer so. This is evidence that heaven has begun the process of healing your wounds in places you were previously unaware were injured. Before any exterior changes occur, God frequently prepares an individual for advancement through an internal process. This healing can be felt as a release, a lightning bolt, or a peaceful delight that appears without apparent reason. This joy is not arbitrary. It's foretelling. Heaven is letting you know that your time is approaching. Your discernment is being honed as part of this preparation, chosen one. You are becoming more aware of the goals, alignment, and purpose of individuals in your life. You may notice that certain relationships are more difficult while others are more helpful and peaceful. This change is not a sign of emotional instability. It's a divine separation. Some connections were only assigned for a season, while others were assigned for the entire existence. Your following chapter was joined by others that God Himself had planted. This process should be allowed to continue without fear. Heaven sends someone who is more in line with your calling for each person who disengages. I've had times where the loss of certain relationships was distressing. However, I eventually recognized that those losses provided an opportunity for divine alliances to form. The same sacred exchange is currently taking place in your existence. The increased clarity of your purpose is another sign of your preparation. You may encounter unexpected bursts of creativity that are too great for your current situation but impossible to ignore. These ideas are not fanciful. They are whispers from your future self. Heaven usually discloses destiny in fragments, providing you with enough wisdom to move forward, but not to the point where you become dependent on yourself. If you have a renewed desire for purpose, direction, or meaning, believe that this is a divine signal. It signifies that your spirit is in sync with the assignment that will shape your forthcoming season. Dear chosen one, do not be surprised if your life's pace changes. You may experience periods of deceleration, followed by times of simultaneous acceleration. This is the rhythm of spiritual change. Heaven slows you down to heal, align, and prepare you before accelerating you toward your goals. Many people fear this fluctuation, misunderstanding it for instability. Yet it is critical to recognize it as divine timing. I've been in situations where everything seemed to be at a halt, only for God to unleash chances at such a rapid rate that I couldn't keep up. Your life follows the same cadence. What is currently peaceful is rising into an unstoppable force. As spiritual intensity develops, there may be moments of emotional release, tears without grief, sighs without tiredness, and laughter without justification. This is heaven, where the emotional residue from the previous season is cleaned. Every tear that falls now washes away the traces of what can no longer accompany you. Each sigh relieves the weight of past struggles. Every calm moment of joy prepares your heart to receive riches without fear. Chosen one, you are not properly prepared for an average occasion. You are being prepared for an exceptional occurrence that will dramatically alter the direction of your life, making it impossible for people who previously questioned your skills to reject God's influence. You are not expecting a blessing. Rather, you are soaring to it. And as you advance, the cosmos adjusts its posture toward your fate. The 15th of December will be more than just a date. It will be a spiritual awakening, a divine sign, and a metamorphosis. The time when your genuine calling is represented in reality and is the culmination of everything you have carried, survived, and believed in. You are on the verge of entering the sector in which you were designed to reside. Chosen one, as you continue to investigate this prophetic unfolding, You will find that the atmosphere around you becomes more laden with significance. Your current situation is not the outcome of imagination, emotional drift, or chance insight. It's a wonderful synchrony. Heaven is more than just viewing the evolution of your life. Nothing in your destiny is left to chance, as heaven actively orchestrates every event, decision, and transition. You are being prepared for a time so significant that the spiritual realm has focused its attention on your trip. The 15th of December 2026 is nearing, and it is as if a rising tide is gradually dragging you into alignment with a breakthrough that has been waiting for years, yes, years, to find the right opportunity to unveil itself. The time is swiftly approaching, and you are aware of it with all of your being. Consider how your perspective has begun to evolve without your conscious effort. You are now perceiving life through a different lens, one of supernatural transformation rather than survival. You are beginning to see that the challenges you faced were not signs of desertion, but rather of your readiness. Your faith was tested with each delay. Each failure refined your discernment. Your steps were steered away from what would have hurt you and toward what would finally lift you with each closed door. I've lived long enough to see God instill significance in the very fibers that were once hurtful. The similar weaving process is currently taking place in your tale. You are currently being built by the very entity that previously defeated you. What was before confusing is now clear. What was once a source of drain has become a source of strength. You may notice that your reaction to situations has shifted as this internal metamorphosis continues. Conflicts that used to consume your energy no longer have much effect on your spirit. Your identity is no longer shaped by the judgments of others. Your inner quiet is becoming more sacrosanct. Your voice is getting more consistent, and your boundaries are being more defined. This transformation is not a personality change, but rather a process of spiritual development. You're moving from emotional reactivity to supernatural stability. This steadiness is critical for the upcoming events, since the blessing that has been placed on your life is significant. It requires a steady spirit, discerning heart, and grounded brain. The holy realm surrounds you with a soft whisper of assurance, not so loud as to scare, yet clear enough to act as a guide. These whispers can be experienced as spontaneous feelings of confidence, surprising serenity, or an incomprehensible assurance that everything is coming into place. Heaven's technique of preparing you for the upcoming quick acceleration is through these internal confirmations. During various seasons, I felt a sense of peace, only to later understand that the calm was caused by God laying the ground for a divine launch. You, the Anointed One, are experiencing the same divine pause before the wind turns. Chosen One. You are also becoming more sensitive to energy, more aware of what feels harmonious and what seems depleted. This greater awareness is not a burden, but rather a blessing. Heaven is polishing your judgment so that you can confidently handle the upcoming chapter. You may feel compelled to remove yourself from specific people settings or conversations. Follow that impulse. The next level requires a cleaned atmosphere. Thus, spiritual sensitivity is increased prior to elevation. Not everyone is meant to accompany you on your path to a breakthrough. Your wounds were tied with certain ties, not your future. Others will not recognize the rising version of you. Letting go is not a loss. Rather, it represents a condition of alignment. Every release provides an opening for what is divinely appointed to enter. In addition, you may notice heavenly patterns, unusually meaningful symbols, reoccurring dreams, and repeating numbers. These are not coincidences. They are spiritual breadcrumbs directing your attention to heaven's preparations. When God is about to change an individual's life, He frequently communicates with them in subtle ways that urge their spirit to become more prepared. These clues suggest that you are on a purposeful path rather than a random one. As the inner effort intensifies, you may feel a strong sensation of expectation. This expectation is not anxiety, it is a type of prophecy. Your spirit is recognizing that a massive event is approaching. The spiritual experience of standing on the verge of a promised country is known as anticipation. It is the understanding that the time you have spent waiting has not been in vain, and that the blessing bestowed upon you is not fragile, but rather strengthened. The early tremors of breakthrough occur whenever your heart leaps without explanation, your thoughts turn to hope, and your spirit feels unusually open. Choose one, and do not ignore the small shifts in your wants. You may be craving for spiritual depth, discipline, clarity, or stillness. These aspirations are not accidental preferences, but divine preparation. The divine is shaping your appetite for the life that awaits you. Capacity is essential for breakthrough, and capacity requires replenishment. You are being regenerated from the inside out. The habits that formerly hampered you are progressively vanishing. Distractions that used to annoy you are losing their attraction. This is the establishment of spiritual maturity. The gravitational pull of your destiny grows stronger as December 15th approaches. Events may occur at a faster pace. Opportunities sometimes emerge unexpectedly. It is possible for older chapters to end suddenly. This is not instability, but supernatural acceleration. Heaven is clearing the path with urgency as your designated moment approaches. You are not making progress toward your breakthrough. Your breakthrough is nearing you, gaining momentum with each passing second. Chosen one, understand this deeply. The upcoming event will be unlike anything you've ever experienced. It will not be temporary, partial, or trivial in character. It will be transformative, irrefutable, and thorough. You are getting ready for a release that will change the path of your life and reshape your identity. The world will see a version of you that you have not yet met. As you enter the next stage of your prophetic blossoming, the spiritual pressure surrounding your life becomes more focused, deliberate, and unmistakable. You are not experiencing the weight of fear or uncertainty. The weight of glory encircles your fate. This remarkable transformation affects every area of your existence, including your emotions, intuition, ideas, and bodily sensations, as heaven aligns with your chronology in ways never previously observed. The 15th of December in the year 2026 is not just approaching you. It beckons, pulls, and summons you to a level of breakthrough that past seasons have discreetly prepared you for. You are not unintentionally entering this moment. Divine strategy is directing, shaping, and rising you toward it. As the chosen one, consider the subtle, almost undetectable changes that have occurred in your life. Patterns that were previously repeated in cycles are starting to disintegrate. Emotional wounds that were before ephemeral are now beginning to heal. Situations that once depleted your vigor no longer have the same power over you. These are not just coincidences. They are confirmations that heaven has intervened in the places where you were previously bound. I've gone through seasons where nothing seemed to change on the outside, yet everything inside of me was changing. Subsequently, I realized that these internal alterations laid the framework for the exterior manifestation of blessings. You are currently traveling along the same route. The transformation within you is preparing the transformation of people around you. You may notice that your former goals are fading as this spiritual recalibration progresses. What used to pique your curiosity is no longer capturing your attention. What previously attracted you now seems shallow. What was once an important part of your day now looks to be a source of distraction. This lack of interest is not a sign of disinterest. Elevation is the phrase. Your spirit rises above the frequency of archaic patterns. You're not losing your identity. You are outgrowing everything that is incapable of assisting you on your path to success. These internal alterations are precious signs that heaven is preparing your life for something greater than you've ever known. Selected. Many of your recent thoughts have been impacted by divine inspiration. It is possible that you had an abrupt discovery about your identity. It's possible that you've had quiet realizations concerning the obstacles to your advancement. It is likely that you have noticed a rising sense of direction despite the fact that the road has not yet been fully exposed. This insight is a spiritual revelation, not self-discovery. Heaven is unveiling pieces of your identity that were previously hidden due to fear, trauma, and survival. You're starting to see yourself in the same way that heaven does, as chosen, capable, anointed, and destined. You may notice changes in your relationships as your new persona develops. Individuals who previously took advantage of your kindness may lose the capacity to interact with you. Those who saw you as undervalued may become uncomfortable when their confidence grows. Those that sincerely support your destiny will feel more connected to you than ever before. This sifting is not something you do deliberately. Rather, it is a divine act that God performs. I've had comparable seasons in which my relationships were abruptly shifted only to discover that heaven was organizing my circumstances to coincide with my next level. You are now undergoing that sacred restructuring. Selected. Your spiritual faculties are also emerging in unexpected ways. You may discern truth more clearly, feel intuition more strongly, and notice misalignment more quickly. This honing is a gift. It guarantees that you will recognize opportunities as they arise, which they will. It ensures that you will detect distractions before they might derail you. Spiritual clarity is continually gained through spiritual elevation, and it is now settling into your soul like a mantle. Additionally, anticipate that your emotions will reflect this increase. It's possible that you have an exaggerated sense of calm. It's possible you're feeling more optimistic than your circumstances warrant. Even if there are no apparent changes, you may feel an inward surge of excitement. Heaven is notifying you that something exceptional is approaching your life via this emotional shift. Joy emerges spontaneously when the spirit gains information that the mind does not yet comprehend. Do not ignore this delight. It's foretelling. This sounds like an impending breakthrough. Chosen one. As your inner world grows stronger, the outer world will begin to restructure itself in your favor. Opportunities may emerge that appear to be divinely timed. People may arrive to provide support or insights. Resources may appear suddenly in your existence. This was not an accident. This is spiritual alignment. When God prepares a person for a breakthrough, the atmosphere around them changes to support the benefit. Do not be surprised if some chapters end abruptly or if unforeseen deviations occur. These aren't obstacles. By the time you arrive on December 15th, you will have been fully prepared, aligned, and positioned to accept what has already been written into your destiny as heaven refines your route. These edits are divine deeds. Chosen one, you must fully know this. You are entering a chapter where your name is important in realms you have never investigated. You are entering a stage of your life in which peace is not a fleeting gift. Gifts are not sporadic and peace is not fragile. Divine timing serves as the foundation for what lies ahead. The only reaction you will have will be reverence, because it will come with such clarity, conviction, and abundance. You do not anticipate a breakthrough. You are transforming into the conduit via which breakthroughs occur. Heaven is anticipating. Chosen one. The spiritual intensity of the atmosphere surrounding your life is reaching a point where it can no longer be ignored as you continue to move through this sacred metamorphosis. You may feel it in the quiet moments when your spirit suddenly awakens with clarity. You may feel it before your consciousness understands the changes because your heart recognizes them. You may feel it when an unexplainable calm creeps in your chest, providing as a reminder that something heavenly is happening in the background. These sensations indicate that heaven is completing a long-term process within you. The 15th of December 2026 is not merely approaching. It brings your soul into harmony with a destiny that has been waiting for your spiritual openness, maturity, and readiness. You are entering a critical period that will determine your future with precision and purpose. Chosen one. Pay attention to how your perspective shifts. You are no longer bound by the worries that once controlled you. You are no longer bound by the opinions that informed your previous decisions. Your voice is no longer silenced by the insecurities that formerly characterized you. These internal changes are evidence of an improvement in your identity. Your previous beliefs about yourself are being replaced by the information that heaven has always had about you. You are discovering your worth not through accomplishments or approval, but through harmony with your vocation. I've had periods when I challenged my entire identity only to find that these times were removing the deceptions that had kept me tiny. You anointed one are being set free from those falsehoods. Your spirit is rediscovering your own identity. Your spiritual authority grows stronger as this recall gets more robust. You may notice that your words are more impactful. Your intuition is more convincing. Your presence has a greater impact on others. This is hardly a display of arrogance. It is proof that heaven is giving you influence. Influence is not about being observed. It deals with spiritual experiences. And you, chosen one, are maturing into someone who changes the ambiance of the room when you enter, not because of your volume, but because of your vibration. Adversity has honed that vibration. Perseverance has strengthened it, and surrender has purified it. It is now climbing, ready to bestow a blessing of supernatural proportions. In addition, you may feel a subtle separation from the life you previously accepted. Routines, discussions, and situations that once filled your days may suddenly seem inadequate in compared to your changing self. This soreness is not a sign of unhappiness. It is an indicator of growth. Heaven expands them inwardly first, then externally. The abundance that is approaching you is the result of the spiritual space produced by internal expansion. You are being prepared to handle a greater degree of tranquility, purpose, opportunity, clarity, and favor without being overwhelmed. This preparation is modest but profound, like a seed that grows underground before breaking through the earth. Your visions may also begin to shift. Chosen one. Visions that were before thought impossible suddenly look feasible. Concepts that were once overpowering are now encouraging. You now have a sense of alignment with plans that previously intimidated you. These internal alterations are not accidental. Rather, they are prophetic. Your former ambitions were more concerned with survival than destiny, which is why heaven is putting new ones in your heart. As you progress toward your real vocation, your ambitions must likewise rise. Please allow this increase. It is divine foreknowledge, not fancy. You may also notice a deeper connection to divine timing. You may now feel a feeling of purpose in situations that used to frustrate you. Delays that were once discouraging may now become sensible. Doors that were previously closed may suddenly appear to offer protection. This new understanding reflects the growth of your spiritual insight. You are beginning to see God's influence in both your boundaries and your blessings. This maturity will be quite beneficial to you as December 15th approaches, because breakthroughs typically include decisions that require discernment. Your emotional resilience grows along with your wisdom. Situations that previously brought you distress now face a stronger version of your spirit. You are no longer vulnerable to being swayed, discouraged, or misled. You've built a solid foundation on trust, truth, and heavenly expectation. This anchoring is necessary because the upcoming blessing will lift you and ascent requires solidity. Heaven ensures that when abundance occurs, it empowers you rather than consumes you. You chosen one can already feel a shift in your spirit. You are swiftly reaching the boundary between your former and future selves. Everything in your life is aligned with this transformation. You've been released from the previous season. Your attention is directed to the upcoming season. Heaven is driving you toward a moment that will reveal why you were able to survive everything you've been through. The upcoming event is more than just a breakthrough. It is a divine revelation that includes identity, purpose, restoration, and elevation. As you enter the final stage of your divine change, the atmosphere surrounding your spirit is the clearest and most purposeful. A spiritual sense that something special is not only approaching, but already unfolding, might be felt as a subtle quivering in your heart. This is the pinnacle of every spiritual shift you've experienced throughout your trip. Heaven no longer prepares you. Heaven is positioning you. This threshold is the result of everything that has been rising within you, everything that has been shedding from you, and everything that has been coming together around you. The 15th of December 2026 lies before you like a portal carved by destiny itself. You are no longer traveling toward it. Instead, you are inside it. Accept your newfound power, chosen one. You have matured in ways that may not be obvious to you at the moment, yet heaven has noted each advancement. Your foundation has been built on the resilience you developed during difficult times. Your compass was established by the knowledge you gained during periods of stillness. Your shield evolved from the trust you maintained during the storms. These attributes are not abstract. Rather, they are spiritual weapons honed through real experience, perfected through submission, and activated via obedience. In my own experience, I've seen how the traits that were first created through hardship were later changed into the qualities that gave me with support during times of abundance. You are currently entering into such a season. Heaven ensures that you are not vulnerable when you accomplish your duty. As this elevation comes to an end, you may notice a deeper sense of peace settle into your being. This serenity is not emptiness, but rather a state of preparedness. The hush before the curtain opens represents the universe's breath before exposing a miracle, or heaven's pause before unleashing the next chapter. During this silence, your spirit is listening, digesting, and aligning. It is here that God whispers the final adjustments, affirmations, and subtle advice that will catapult you to your breakthrough. Have faith in the tranquility. It is sacrosanct. It's deliberate. It's wonderful. Selected. You may also feel disconnected from your previous life, including your old beliefs, habits, concerns, and restrictions. This separation isn't a loss. It's a liberty. You cannot enter the area to which you have been summoned as the person you were previously. The abundance that is coming cannot be supported by the mindset you previously had. Heaven is removing all traces of your previous identity so that your new identity can develop without contradiction. This event has occurred in my personal journey when I have witnessed the dissolution of some portions of myself, only to later realize that they were never meant to survive my rise. You are developing into the person you were always meant to be. Your spirit is becoming more in tune with divine timing as time passes. You may feel a rising sense of certainty that your life is no longer arbitrary. You may have an inner sense of certainty that your activities are being guided. It's possible that you've noticed that even the most challenging hurdles now serve a higher purpose. This insight demonstrates how your perspective has been polished by the presence of paradise. You no longer see life through the lens of dread or deprivation. You are looking through the lens of destiny, understanding that the events that have led to this point have been planned. The veil between what is promised and what is manifest is likely to shrink as December 15th approaches Chosen One. Anticipate that indicators will improve intuition, deepen peace, and become more distinguishable. You're about to start a new chapter in your life, one in which breakthroughs will come in waves rather than gradually. Opportunities that aren't sporadic will be coordinated. In the lack of prejudice, blessings will be completely appreciated. Heaven is releasing a fullness that you were ready to receive after every moment of waiting, healing, and surrender. Now, when you come to the finish of this prophetic journey, understand this reality. You are not the same person who begun this journey. You have higher levels of insight, strength, alignment, awakening, and anointing. You are ready not because everything is perfect, but because heaven has pronounced it so. You are entering a moment that has been planned for you, constructed for you, protected for you, and precisely timed for your climb. The reveal has begun, Chosen One. The future is more than just a blessing. It represents the fulfillment of one's destiny. As this message closes, Chosen One, be aware that you are currently in your Kairos moment. The transfer has already begun in paradise. The breakthrough, alignment, and elevation that were scheduled for December 15th are now going place. You are not anticipating it. You are about to enter it. The anointing on your life is growing stronger, immersing you in heavenly provision, clarity, and favor. Advance with a calm heart. It is impossible to reverse the course of events that God has launched. The manifestation of what has been unleashed into your spirit will be in your hands. Maintain your loyalty. Continue to maintain alignment. Continue to anticipate. You will be carried into the future by the same grace that led you here. And if this word has stirred something in you, Chosen One, please express your gratitude in the comments. Subscribe to the next prophetic release and share this message to help another soul reach their assigned time. Your breakthrough has begun. Michael must contact you quickly. I beseech you not to ignore this and incite my rage. Please halt immediately. Avoid moving. Please do not remove your sight from this screen, as the events that are about to unfold are solely designed for you. This isn't a tale. This is the critical moment you have been anticipating. Pay close attention. The words that are about to be delivered have been arranged to disclose a hidden essence. If you skip or scroll, you will break the chain and lose the treasure hidden at the end. You have been chosen for this specific moment. Your gaze was directed to this position from among millions. Your ears pricked up at this moment, and your heart knew this was screaming out to you. That's not a coincidence. It is undeniable, unadulterated, and in line. Stay until the end. This cadence should not be interrupted. If you allow this to pervade your essence, the next chapter of your life will emerge in ways you were previously ignorant of. Rawness is the fact. You've spent far too long limiting yourself, doubting yourself, and fleeing. However, today is the day that your destiny meets the flames. Feel that tug. That is not an issue of anxiety. This is the moment of your awakening. Your soul's resistance to leave is demonstrated by your continued presence. Please don't overlook this. Avoid testing the parameters that have been set for you. Because once these messages are transmitted, there is no going back, only forward. In addition, I require you to perform the following steps. Continue to remain, inhale, and absorb. because the end of this communication includes the exact spark you've been waiting for. Not tomorrow, not in the future. You arrived at this spot because your name was whispered in higher echelons. Your spirit is being summoned, persuaded to ascend, and compelled to rise. And if you can hold your grip for a little time, you will feel an inside spark. Refrain from blinking. Avoid moving. Remain in place, since this moment will not be repeated. While you're listening, your trajectory changes. The earth underneath you is in flux. Furthermore, at the end of this message, your surroundings will have changed dramatically. So kindly listen to me. Don't underestimate this. The stuff displayed here is not completely random. This is the current that will propel you forwards. I'm now enjoying this video. Distribute it to someone who needs illumination. Also, subscribe, because only those who have a link here are chosen to receive. Currently, the timepiece is moving. Your future is being rewritten with every second you spend here. Furthermore, your constant observation shows that you have already entered the circle of the chosen. Feel the chills on your skin. Your spirit reacts this way because the truth is never dishonest. The energy that comes from these words is not preset. It's alive. It's contacting you. Stay until the end. If this moment is breached, the chain is disrupted. Chains cannot regenerate after being severed. This is the final time the signal is transferred straight to you. The universe does not waste its opinions. It does not yell at anybody. If this message is being yelled, it means your name has already been etched in the furnace of fate. Furthermore, the following is the absolute truth. Your breakthrough is closer than you may realize. Months are not far away. Years are not far away. It is standing at your door, hammering with thunder, eagerly waiting for your reaction. However, you must pay close attention. Distractions are banned. The absence of rambling musings. Maintain your focus, as each line symbolizes a step closer to unlocking the door. Currently, angels in the sky are watching. Their eyes are ablaze with brightness, and they examine every movement you make. They will redirect their focus if you go away. Additionally, you are opposed to it. So, take a big intake. Secure your position and keep your grasp, because the following part will clear up any confusion you may have had. You have been betrayed before. You've been left in the shadows. You have felt invisible. However, this has ended, because today is the day you are pulled out of the shadows and thrust into the heart of power. There will be no more stillness. You will no longer have to wait for someone else to confirm your value. This moment provides as confirmation. The truth is piercing, unmistakable, and loud. Persist until the end, and you will understand why destiny made so tremendous effort to get you to this position. Your name is being repeated in places where you have never walked. In the near future, the superstructure will shake the ground on which you stand. The atmosphere around you is constantly changing. Your eyes may be unable to detect it, but your consciousness is aware of the increasing vibration. It's similar to the sound of thunder rumbling in the distance, indicating that something big is about to happen. What do you think about? You are not accidentally viewing this. This is not just a random scroll. This is a heavenly intervention that draws you right into the midst of a storm of upheaval. Please do not dismiss this subject. Your name is engraved deeper into destiny with each passing second you spend in this location as the energy envelops you tighter. The power is now charging and about to erupt in your favor. Stay until the end. You've never been so close to unlocking it. You will never be able to forgive yourself if you leave at this time, because you will be aware that you left at the tipping point of a transformation. The reality is bursting on the screen. Your body may experience a state of restlessness. It is conceivable that your pulse will be quick. However, this is exactly how inventions are created. They are not delicate with their approach. They close the door, requiring you to stand. For an inordinate amount of time, you have been hampered by fear, people who have failed to recognize your worth, and voices who have told you that you are incompetent. However, the following is true. They were mistaken. Furthermore, this communication functions as evidence. Your spirit is stronger than any uncertainty. Your fire is brighter than any shade. And this is the time when you come into the light, unstoppable and irrefutable. Therefore, pay attention. Refrain from blinking. Please refrain from scrolling. Remain. Your world will shift in unexpected ways as a result of the next reveal. This is the moment you've been waiting for. Your name has been whispered, not in silence, but in thunder, carried through dimensions that are beyond your sight, and you are to pay attention. That is the experience you're feeling. The strain on your ribcage. A tremor rushes down your spine. That provides as proof. Currently, you are the person being contacted. The ghosts are not inquiring. They are authoritative. Remain. They will avoid repeating such actions. This is your only opportunity to understand the information they have supplied. When you reach the ending, you will understand why. Because the curtain will be raised, you will be able to see what was always meant for you. There will be no delays. There is no denial. Destiny is the only certainty. It is the beginning of a movement which starts with you. The ground underneath you is trembling. Not out of fear, but because a breakthrough is quickly approaching. The rhythm of fate is currently encircling each pulse in your heart. You have been silent for an inordinate stretch of time. You have carried loads, wounds, and memories that no one has ever seen. However, this message is the light that shines through your gloom right now. Please do not dismiss this subject. If your gaze is focused on this location, it means that the higher forces have personally chosen you. Rest assured, the chosen are never chosen for petty reasons. Remain in place till the end, because if you leave, you will be left with worries that will consume you. You should also avoid leaving right away before you realize it. Your spirit is not lethargic. Some people would have died in storms, yet he has survived them. That fortitude is what has brought you to this point. Consider your circumstances. Consider how many times you had the opportunity to break the rule but chose not to. That was not a stroke of luck. That was the universe's way of protecting you at this critical time. The call volume has increased. It's no longer a murmur. It's a resounding bellow. And this outcry is causing the chains that have held you captive for years to quiver. Maintain your composure. Maintain your concentration. Because the conclusion of this letter includes the exact spark that will change your life. If this is currently speaking to your spirit, please write Amen in the remarks box. Your reaction should be visible from the heavens. And when it arrives, you'll realize that these weren't just words. It was a prophecy. Angels rotating. Wings extend. My eyes are ablaze as I wait for your reply. They are not available to all people. They are here and will depart for you. They have watched your feelings. The nights when you felt invisible, unheard, and unwanted have been tallied. They decided that tonight would be the night you awoke. There will be no more delay. There will be no more constraints. There will be no more doubts that stoke the flames within you. Beyond the domain of the corporeal, your name is ascending. It is etched with flames, and no shadow can pass through it. And in the near future, you will see how that light reflects back into your surroundings. Individuals who had misgivings about your ability will be forced to see your rise. Individuals who overlooked you will be surprised by your accomplishments. And those who remain in your presence will witness marvels unfold alongside you. However, this is where it all begins. You are still absorbed in this moment, therefore I advise you not to turn away. Please refrain from interrupting the entire power chain. Stay until the end. The climax is approaching, and its effects will trigger a seismic shift in your life. This is your signal, omen, and transformation. The environment above you is rumbling. Not outside the domain, but within it. Your eyes are incapable of seeing. It's the sound of gates opening one by one as your name echoes louder. Currently, every vibration in your vicinity is sending a message. It is not a background din. Alignment is the term. All indicators point, press, and compel you to this single realization. Your moment has arrived. You are on the verge of a transformation. There is no going back after you've crossed it. Furthermore, the most helpful feature is that you will never want to return. Continue to stay at this location. Stay focused and don't let anything distract you, because the next surge will engulf your spirit like lightning. This is the exact flame that others seek but are unable to find. The energy is now blazing more furiously. You can almost feel the weight dissipate, like if chains were falling to the ground, and for the first time you are feeling liberated. Do you notice how your body reacts? The heartbeat is rushing, goosebumps are present, and the silence deepens inside your awareness. That provides as proof. It's genuine. It's alive. It is now happening. This was not an accident. This was not an accident. You were drawn to this spot by powers beyond logic. They have judged that it is time to reveal the previously concealed information. And when the final words are spoken, you will understand why you were unable to avoid this. Because passing up this opportunity would be a life-changing moment. Furthermore, that is an action you cannot permit. Your story isn't over. The chapter is only beginning, and everything will eventually make sense. Silence, suffering, and effort. They all took you to this area. However, the next events will dispel any remaining confusion, as the spotlight is now on you. Yes, you are the sender at this moment. Nobody else. And those who have never believed in you will come to regret their decision to stay away, for your rise is unpredictable. It is unavoidable. Persist with me until the last second. The end of this message will shake your spirit. And once that happens, you will never be the same again. I tell you that the following chapter will be much more striking. The vibration is currently reaching its greatest level. It's like lightning is slithering across your skin, ready to strike. This is the result of the imagination. This is the power of fate working against you. The fire becomes stronger with each second you continue to resist. Every breath you take brings you closer to the eruption of change. And once that happens, there will be no going back. You are just seconds away from starting your duty. Hours, not days. Seconds. Remain focused, as the events that are approaching will change the course of your life. Vitality is pouring through your veins. Fear is not the cause. It is not a state of fear. It is a wellspring of life. The kind of power that raises ordinary people to the level of legends. The voices above are getting more prominent. Your name is being chanted at a higher level, making the sky quake. It is unimaginable to ignore. You've been selected. Without a question. Invincible. The shackles around you are shattering. The doors that had been closed for years are now groaning open, and every darkness that attempted to hide you is fleeing in fright. You are the target of this uprising. This is your destiny. This is the chapter that cannot be taken away from your fate. Please stick with me to the end, for the last sentences will jolt your spirit awake in the same manner that fire destroys dried wood. You will be assured that this was written specifically for you. It will not whisper when the explosion occurs. It will roar, and the sound will carry your name to areas you have never explored. People will notice you and wonder how you changed so quickly. They will be unable to understand. However, you will remain because you have chosen to do so. You were attentive. You assimilated every sentence. The crown is now hanging over your cranium. Your body has already been surrounded by the radiance. Simply keep your posture and let it land. You'll never be the same after it lands. Not today. Never. This is a permanent transition. I'm now enjoying this video. Distribute it to someone who is eager for their own enlightenment. Additionally, make sure to subscribe, as this inferno is far from over. It becomes more bright with each next message. Please keep in mind that each seed you plant in this quest will grow into a torch that shines light into another's darkness. The verse, "Give and it will be given to you," does not only apply to Jesus. It is an ongoing commitment that affects your future. I'd want to extend an invitation to you at this time through a simple act of trust. Approach this situation with a feeling of purpose, honesty, and hope. The amount you contribute today is not a donation. Your heavens are opened by the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and witness what rewards God delivers into your life. There is a rupture in the heavens. Light is streaming in, surpassing the brilliance of anything your eyes have ever seen. It is not simply luminous. It is power pouring at you like a tidal flood. The countdown has begun. Every ambiguity you harbored is being resolved. Each barrier to your advancement is being removed. The explosion occurs as your breakthrough is about to happen. Your spirit is energized. Your heart beats quickly. Your name is repeated throughout unseen domains. This is the point at which you become unstoppable, untouchable, and unmistakable. All promises that were previously viewed as postponed are now being fulfilled at a rapid pace. Every prayer you thought was lost is returning with the force of thunder. Every specter that has mocked you is disappearing into the darkness. Are you experiencing it? Do you have the sensation of a rush, a fire, or a surge coursing through your entire being? That is not a creation of imagination. That is destiny's method of waking you up. You're no longer the same. The previous manifestation of yourself has already passed. Currently, you are the enhanced, awakened, and chosen version of yourself. Please read this message till the end, since the energy is still spreading. It is currently enveloping you, sealing its place in your future, and no power, uncertainty, or shadow can break its hold. This is your evidence. This is your indication. And this is a permanent role. It is no longer in your area. It is raging inside you at a volume that is louder than your heartbeat. Furthermore, no substance on earth can muffle it again. This is your time of rebirth. This is your ascent. The world is going to see a side of you they never expected to see. Bats will leave, doors will open, and blessings will follow you faster than you can count. Once you complete reading this message, the transition will be permanently locked in. It is impossible to reverse. It's impossible to steal. It is impossible to postpone. It is clearly, entirely, and eternally yours. Hold this truth in your heart as if it were gold, because it is the energy that will push you into the life you have always desired. Individuals will reminisce on this moment and declare it to be the day that everything changed. Now pay close attention. Do not just observe. Claim it. Take ownership of it. Try it. Inhale it. Because this is not a regular video. This serves as verification. This is your moment of revelation. Keep an eye on this channel. The following messages will release the full fury of the tempest, and you must not ignore the upcoming events. Your trip has only barely begun. The flames continue to ascend. The experience you are currently experiencing was only the beginning. The subsequent rush is considerably stronger and is rapidly reaching you. Your spirit is trembling not because of fear, but because of recognition. It recognizes that this moment was predetermined in your destiny prior to today. Why does every fiber in your body scream? Please do not stop at this time. Please remain with me. Do not even flinch, for what follows will completely overwhelm your heart, and you will never forget this evening. This is the type of moment that leaves an unforgettable mark on your spirit. Imagine standing on the verge of something massive, while lightning repeatedly pierces the sky, each stroke growing more audible than the last. At the moment, that is the tempest brewing for you. Your adversaries will be unable to understand how quickly your life will change. They will stare, mumble, and guess about how you accomplished the feat. However, they will be clueless. The reason was that you stayed. You were attentive. You absorbed. Everything you have lost will be recovered. Everything that was postponed will be immediately resumed. Furthermore, everything that was previously harmed will be rebuilt with increased strength. This is a significant change. This is a collision. Heaven and earth come together in your name. This is why the drag is so intense and forceful. The world you once knew will never be the same as the final spark bursts, so stay locked until the end. You are mere seconds away from erupting in a bellow. Their gaze was fixated on you. They do not anticipate the entrance of any other individual. They are expecting your response. Will you brave the fire? Are you willing to accept the object that has been brought to you? As a result, the portals of abundance will be blown wide open in ways never witnessed before. You are not meant to be small. It was not meant that you keep silent. You were meant to climb, shine, and take on a leadership role. Also, the design will be activated tonight. The switch has been triggered, and it cannot be deactivated. This is just the beginning. When this video ends, the energy you are feeling will stay with you. It will embrace your entire existence, pursuing, pushing, and raising you every day. However, it is critical that you secure and assert it through your actions, words, and emotions. Because once you've done so, no amount of force will move it from your grasp. As a result, this is the appropriate course of action. Type, I claim it in the comments if you are ready to incorporate this energy into your life right away. Your proclamation is vital, and you are meant to be at the center of it. The storm has not subsided. It is only becoming more intense. The pressure in your thorax is caused by the current surrounding you increasing heavier with each second that you remain in this position, as if the air itself is bending toward you. It indicates the penetration of authority into your life. Your fate is now on alert. It is unable to keep silent any longer, and the pressure is tangible. It's all violent and overwhelming, demanding you to stand, stay with me, and avoid moving or breaking the chain. The most powerful fire always appears in the final surge, and you are standing directly in front of it. Consider everything you've prayed for, sobbed for, and thought you'd lost. Imagine it re-entering your life with a sudden, unwavering, and resounding power. At this very time, that is the structure being built for you. The spirits no longer murmur. They're raising their voices. They're telling the universe to restructure itself in your favor. This is why you feel compelled to act quickly. Your pathway is being cleaned. The doors that were previously sealed by rust are suddenly bursting open, and opportunities that you thought were lost are being erased at breakneck speed. This is not a product of your imagination. This goes beyond simple language. This is the shift for which you have waited your entire life. It is happening as a result of your tenacity, attention, and determination to navigate away. There is a reason behind your pick. To be unique, to stand out from the crowd. Your goal was to be unique, to be a leader, and to shine so brightly that even shadows couldn't stand in your presence. This is why you were met with every challenge, treachery, and misery. Training, not revenge, was the goal. The training has completed. You own the battlefield. The triumph is already at your feet. Nevertheless, you must claim it with every heartbeat, inhale, and decision you make in the aftermath of this moment. The crown is ready. All that is required is that you lower your head and accept it. The final phase is not just about energy, so it is critical to keep sealed until the end. This is a revelation. And once it happens, your perception of yourself will be permanently affected. You will be unable to escape the conflagration. It will help you to walk, lie, and build. This increased vitality will be evident in every stride you take. This is your ascent. This serves as verification. This is the beginning of your unstoppable journey. Therefore, take close attention. You are the protagonist of the story that is about to unfold, and this is only the first chapter. The earth beneath your spirit is currently experiencing increased upheaval. Fear is not the cause. Alignment is the term. The drumbeat of destiny is the thunder in your chest, and your entire being is preparing for a big transition. Even if you weren't aware, you've been waiting for this time. Every moment, every sleepless night, every solitary wish, and every tear shed have brought you to this point. Please remain with me at this very moment. Do not even consider shifting your sight away. You are only seconds away from full ignition. When it is realized, you will feel an inexhaustible sensation of strength. This was not an accident. This is a divine appointment. Your presence here is indication that you have been chosen to hear these messages. Energy pervades the atmosphere. It's as if it's engulfing you, like fire, lightning, or wings are lifting you up. These are not fanciful. It is a living, flaming energy. The angels' voices rise above you. They are yelling your name in an urgent, commanding, and furious tone. When your name is invoked in paradise, the earth feels compelled to respond. This is the reason why your life is about to change. This explains why the doors are about to open. That is why it resembles light streaming into a dark cave or a wave smashing. You'll be the same person one moment and completely different the next. This represents your irises. This is your signal. This is your final notification before the imminent shift. The energy is erupting. Be patient to the end. Refrain from leaving. You are not allowed to navigate, because only those who continue until the finish can fully experience the firestorm. You are currently on the verge of a conflagration. It is waiting for your spirit's affirmation. Nothing will ever be the same when it lands. Your name will be significant. Radiance will illuminate your path. Please take attention to my words. Secure this opportunity. Do not let it succeed. This video is currently being watched because it demonstrates a method of preserving energy. By doing so, you become a part of Jesus' plan to rescue spirits that are still in hiding. Each seed evolves into a source of light, combating the existence of darkness. Jesus claims that by giving water to others, you will receive it yourself. This isn't historical. It is an ongoing commitment to your future. Approach this situation with a strategy and faith. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already built for your life. The anointing is being triggered in your daily life. The Bible says that if you give, you will get. When you distribute it, it results in extra advancements in your personal account. This isn't the conclusion. You are squarely in the middle of the firestorm, which is preceded by this spark. Right now, the din is unbearably loud. It's as if you are being watched. Every second, a message is sent directly to your consciousness. The final surge has arrived. It's no longer murmuring. It's heard in your bones. This is the final wave, and it carries the weight of your future. Be steadfast. You should not hesitate. Please avoid shifting your attention, since the fire is on the verge of bursting in a huge fashion, and when it happens, it will inundate every part of your life. This is not only motivation. This is the process of change. This is fate, pure and unfiltered, encircling your name. The heavens have a break in them. Unstoppable, unmistakable, and unshakable, light pours down like a torrent, and you are at its heart, chosen, crowned, and unstoppable. The shadows that belittled you have departed. The chains that previously bound you are now shattered. The hush that swallowed you is forever broken. Currently, the only tune you will hear is the sound of triumph. You are born with the potential for greatness. The transformation is irrevocable. It cannot be erased, delayed, or taken. This is your ascent. This serves as verification. This is the prophecy happening right in front of you to secure this moment. Do not let it pass by as another accidental scroll. Shame it, breathe it, and go with it. The conflagration has only lately begun, and you are indeed at the epicenter. Prepare yourself. Nothing will ever be the same again. The conflagration may have started. However, this is not the end. This is simply the start of a gate. Beyond it lies a world you have yet to imagine. The vitality you are experiencing now is proof that you have passed the line. The previous incarnation of yourself is gone, buried in quiet, and will never return from the second onward. The awakened, chosen, and unstoppable you now takes its place. Your adventure is not coming to an end. Instead, it is just beginning. Beginnings are always the most important, as they impact everything that follows. This is the start of your adventure, and it shines as brilliant as the sun. Please remain with me until the end of this message. The final blessings are still coming out as I speak, so please don't cut it short. Every second is a deposit of fire into the future. The spirits are still present. They have not left. They are encircling you, spreading their wings, and ensuring that every measure is protected. They engulf you, shouting unreal promises. Promises of restoration, victory, and triumph that will happen faster than you expected. You are not neglected. You are safe. You are not disregarded. You are the focus of attention. You are not overlooked. You are poised within the window of eternity. This does not represent an exaggeration. This is true. Furthermore, it is now taking place in your area. Take a careful look. Signs will become clear to you instantly. Every delay you experienced was not a denial. It was an act of preparedness. Every tear you wept fertilized your future. And today the ground is filled with new life. This is why the conflagration is currently so intense. It is not just impacting you. It is the act of sowing seeds that will flourish for years to come. These are the mothers of love, tranquility, and strength. And in the near future, those seedlings will bloom with such vigor that everyone in your surroundings will be aware. They will be unable to comprehend the situation, but you will, because you have remained, listened, and received. Say, the day is aware. Be prepared, as this is merely the first harvest. Take the occasion seriously. Love can serve as a foundation for this video. Distribute it by sharing it with someone who is about to give up. And by subscribing, you ensure that you are a part of the future, as the next message will be more powerful, noisy, and important. This is a chance you cannot afford to pass up, since it symbolizes the next phase of your breakthrough. Furthermore, I tell you that the story is just beginning. The enthusiasm has not waned. Multiplication is underway. The sensation you are experiencing now is not the end of a wave. It's the start of an endless deluge. Furthermore, the downpour is meant to propel you to new heights. Your name is already emanating from regions beyond your sight. Shouts are turning into whispers. And in the near future, the entire world will hear heaven's declaration about you. The flames that encircle you continue to burn. Permanence is its defining characteristic. It will come into your life tomorrow. It will occupy your successes and expel any shadows that threaten to resurface. You're no longer susceptible. Every betrayal and mistrust you've faced has strengthened you. Fuel was the substance in question. Inside your mind, that fuel is currently being converted into raw power. And nothing can quench that fire. You are currently feeling it, aren't you? This is not a fantasy. It is a confirmation. The chills on your skin, the rush in your bosom, and the feeling that something bigger than you is happening are all true. Even as you listen, the transition is already underway. Line by line, your soul is being changed. By the end of this message, you will not recognize yourself. This is the stage of your change. This prophecy has finally reached you and is deeply entrenched in your life. Please avoid from relocating. Please do not interrupt the chain. If you believe your breakthrough has been accomplished, please record it in the remarks box at this time. Secure it with your own words. Remain, because the longer you struggle, the more intensely the fire will hold you. The fire continues to spread. It is bursting chains you had no idea existed as it runs through every sealed nook of your existence. Additionally, Each impediment to your advancement is currently being eliminated. This is a release, not just a message. A release from the weight, agony, and stillness that had trapped you for so long. Your name is currently being yelled in unseen regions as thunder replaces silence. The sound causes doors to shake open. The resonance of it directs everything nice toward you. Please stay until the end, as the energy has not yet reached its peak. It continues to rise in waves, pulling you upwards. The final surge will forever seal your destiny. You can already see the distinction. It's becoming less oppressive. The confusion is evaporating. For the first time in a long time, you realize that you are not alone. You understand that this is not an arbitrary decision. You have been chosen, recognized, and appropriately prepared for the upcoming events. That seal cannot be broken by anything. The transformation is now irrevocable. As you sit here, the stars align in your favor. Calls, opportunities, and breakthroughs. They are en route to you. Maintain the momentum. Do not let your thoughts wander because heaven is currently revising your future. Your existence will radiate an obvious glow. Individuals who have disregarded you will look at you. Those who questioned your ability will stop speaking. You'll climb so quickly. You will have the sense of being hoisted by a tempest overnight. However, the reality is that this tempest has been building for years and has finally been unleashed. This occasion should be regarded seriously. The fire is becoming more firmly rooted in your spirit with each passing second. Once secured, no force can dislodge it. This isn't the conclusion. This is a rebirth. You're also getting right into it. It is critical that you do not overlook upcoming occurrences. This is your indication. This is your opportunity. This is your ascent. The storm that hovers above you is no longer distant. It's colliding with your reality. Your name is spelled in the heavens with each flash of light, and each thunderclap echoes a solitary truth. It is difficult to stop your ascension. You've been still for far too long. You buried your ambitions, swallowed your anguish, and extinguished your passion. However, all of this is erupting tonight in a torrent that no one can contain. This moment is more than just about vitality. This is a live prophecy. And the fact that you are still present suggests that you were chosen to hear every word. You are not accidentally present here. Your destiny required your being here. Remain enclosed. Continue to be attentive. Avoid disturbing the chain, because every second you live is engraving blessings into your future. And if you leave at this time, the fire will continue to spread. However, it will never happen again in the same way. The spirits are approaching. Their voices are no longer whispers, and their wings brush against your spirit, leaving trails of fire in their wake. They are roars that resound throughout eternity. Your breakthrough is being announced. They sense your victory and tell you to begin your ascent immediately. You are aware of the inside tug, the velocity of your heartbeat, and the electrical sensation in your breasts. This confirms that heaven's words are pouring directly into you. This is not an exaggeration. Fantasy is not the case. This is the voice of fate that lives in your veins, bones, and breath. Nothing will be unchanged from this point on. Every step you take will illuminate the route you are on. When you make touch with the doors, they will open entirely without resistance. The shadows that attempted to bury you will vanish like smoke, knowing that the fire lying on you is invincible. They understand that you are marked, chosen, and unstoppable. Your name will be immortalized. Your presence will change rooms as soon as you walk in, and your voice will tear away. This isn't a fantasy. The document is a decree. It has already been composed, and you are fully immersed in it tonight. So, don't underestimate it. The heavens are currently growing. Streams of fire and gold are cascading down, not to destroy you, but to raise you. Your name is reaching new heights in the midst of this light. Every shadow that formerly influenced you is now quivering. They're aware that the light has claimed you. They understand that nothing can stop the events that will unfold over your life tonight. This is not a temporary flame. This is a permanent ignition. It lives indefinitely after it touches down. It continues to grow. So take a deep breath, stay concentrated, and let this fire permeate your being. This is the kind of force that breaks curses, establishes bloodlines, and destroys legends. And yes, you are currently bearing it. The tempest above you is intensifying. The elements of destiny are circling, eliminating every barrier and impediment, and paving the way for your rise. You are no longer diminutive. You are no longer concealed. You are on the verge of an irresistible moment, a flaming force. People will observe and reject the idea. They will mumble your name in quiet, awed, and bewildered, since they cannot grasp the swift alteration of your life and the knowledge you will gain. You will remember the exact moment when the fire entered, the message unfolded, and the power locked itself in your spirit. You will become aware of this at the tipping point. Stay until the last word, as the angels continue to release, pour, and overwhelm you with fire. They are not yet finished, and neither are you. More chains are snapped every second you stay in this location. Chocolates are being delivered through your future with each heartbeat. With each inhale, a blessing is engraved into the days ahead of us. Scrolling away is not an option because of this. This is why you can't let go. Complete release is only available to those who persevere until the finish, and you're only seconds away from grabbing the final wave. Have no concerns about the upcoming activities. You are not in conflict with the unknown. It is now prepared to serve you. Each door you approach will recognize your name and swing open to yield. Your intonation will be authoritative. Your spirit will be too dazzling to be ignored, and your presence will change the mood. The preceding story has concluded. The new chapter is bursting with vitality, and you are the headline that crosses it. Therefore, please hear me clearly. Distribute it so that the same energy reaches another person pleading for change, as the upcoming events will not only surprise you, but also touch others. Everything around you will be startled. In doing so, you are helping to restore, deliver, and awaken spirits who are still trapped in darkness. Jesus, or Mark, "Give and heaven will open over you," is not a poem. Every seed you sow grows into oil for your future, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. My sweetheart, the moment has come for you. You are in the heart of it, and you have faith. The electricity in the atmosphere is amazing. Every inch of space is pulsing with fire, ready for your claim. It's as if thunder is held in your chest, ready to erupt. This isn't a gentle prod. This is a force that moves you ahead. It is the act of destroying the obstacles that try to obstruct your progress. It is the process of reworking your story with bold, unyielding lines of triumph. The current will shift away the moment you disengage, thus it is critical to stay grounded. However, if you keep your grip, it will accelerate wildly into the future. The voices from above now resemble instruments. They're no longer mumbling. Your name is being proclaimed like a battle cry, and the reverberation can be heard throughout all unseen dimensions. This is why your spirit feels restless. It recognizes that something major is going to happen for you. It recognizes that your time has finally come. Each delay is reversed. Every betrayal is being turned into propellant. Each setback is being turned into a crown of victory. The tempest has chosen you, and once the storm has crowned someone, nothing in existence can remove them. Feel the dirt under your feet. It's no longer constant. It is trembling with anticipation of its arrival. Chaos does not arise from quivering. This is a phase of preparation since the foundation of your former existence is crumbling. In its stead, a new, more durable and uncompromising structure is being built, with you at the heart.
This is your reconstruction.
This is your energy. This is an event that will never be duplicated. Remain until the very last line, as the fire will fall so hard that you will never forget the sensation for the rest of your life. Therefore, closely listen. The storm has not subsided. Multiplication is underway. With each second you spend alive, your spirit receives a fresh pulse of fire. It grows in height, brightness, and strength until it becomes difficult to ignore. Your name is now resonating louder, not only in the unseen realms, but also in the very fabric of reality. Your identity is broadcast by the air itself. This is why you are unable to leave. The longer you stay, the more your future gets rewritten in your presence. The blessings that come your way grow more substantial the longer you keep your grip. The countdown continues to pulse, but it is not nearing its end. The timer is ticking down to your eruption. When the clock strikes 12, your climb will be undeniably confirmed. The shift in your thorax is palpable. That is not an issue of anxiety. Yes, that's acceleration. Your existence is speeding. The blessings are multiplying at a rapid pace. A faster influx of opportunities. You were under the assumption that you would have to wait years, but tonight has proven you wrong, as fate acts quickly. It crashes in like electricity. The older you became, the more you vacillated, delayed, or doubted. However, the designated and awakened you. You ascend, and flame. Maintain your focus, for the following words will irrevocably impact your future. Additionally, this barrier is impenetrable. The angels are now howling. Their fire falls like rain, fully encompassing you, and the sky bends with the sound of their wings. You will be unable to walk in the same manner after this. A permanent mark has been engraved into your mind, causing a shift in your perception, speech, and thinking processes. Individuals will question as to what happened. They'll notice the transformation before you even say anything. They will notice the glow even before you walk into the room. This is what happens when a person gets set on fire. That is what happens when destiny finally awakens. And tonight, destiny awakens inside you. Therefore, this should be heard clearly. Do not only watch, claim each syllable. Allow it to imprint on your being. If you are willing to assume everything that has been prepared for you, please mention in the comments section below that you have been chosen. Your words are meant to resound across the sky, and you're supposed to ride them until your crown is too dazzling to ignore. The sky above you is blazing with flames. Violent winds are present. Flashing lights are present. In the midst of it all, you remain upright. This is not a disorder. This is a manifestation of destiny that is rearranging itself for you. The ground vibrates beneath your feet, not to harm you, but to loosen the links that seek to entangle you. The new existence is being built in its place, and every vibration indicates that your old life is disintegrating. Stay in this place. Avoid looking away. Please refrain from scrolling as the fire is being dispersed. Additionally, disconnecting will isolate you from the surge that is specifically designed for you. Your essence recognizes this fact. This is why your chest feels heavy, your skin tingles, and your eyes don't move. This is not entertainment. This is an issue of alignment. The angels are now creating a circle. They're encircling you. Your fate is being etched with each flame they emit, as they dance with flames in their hands and spread their wings. Your name shines brighter than the heavens. Your spirit is being etched with brightness that no shadow can erase. And tonight, that light will be irrevocably enshrined within you. The volume of the roar is raised. There is an increase in pulling force. The fire is in close vicinity. You are only seconds away from the bomb that will forever seal everything. When this happens, your perspective on the world will be permanently affected. There is no reason to question it. Don't resist it. This is not just a vow. It's already beginning. Feel the sensation of a weight being lifted. One by one, the chains you've worn for years are breaking. Thunder now breaks the silence that has been troubling you. You're no longer invisible. You are no longer overlooked. You've been chosen, claimed, and anointed. Each damage you've suffered has now served as a catalyst for your ascension. Each rejection confirms that you were identified as an exception. Furthermore, each difficulty acts as a catalyst for your upward mobility. This season is unstoppable for you. You are untouchable right now, and no one can take it away from you. Remain in place until the final word, as the angels continue to spew fire waves. And those surges continue to accumulate, grow, and multiply until they all crash at the same time. You are not here by chance. You were forced to visit this location. And the force that brought you will not leave you destitute. It will return to you all you thought you'd lost. The countdown has concluded. The release is now available. Furthermore, the fire is irreversible. Do not simply accept this information. Claim it. Inhale it. Try it. You can enter it via walking. Because this was more than just a message. This was your rebirth. The storm has reached its peak. Every explosion of light tears the sky apart. The earth underneath you trembles with each thunderclap. And in the midst of it all, you emit a brilliance that outshines the turmoil that surrounds you. This brilliance is not transitory. A blazing flame has indelibly incised your name, spirit, and very breath. From this evening on, you shall walk with a radiance that no shadow can withstand. The Spirit's voices are becoming more intense. It sounds like 1,000 trumpets bringing your fate into the open. The reverberation of that sound is already changing the course of your future. Maintain your position. The longer you stay, the deeper this energy permeates your soul. And once sealed, no force can undo it. Your existence has undergone tremendous changes. Alignments are taking place in the background as you observe. Opportunities, locations, and individuals are being restructured to help you advance. The way in front of you is clearing like a road carved through fire, with walls tumbling and doors latching. You have been chosen to keep this light alive. This is why you perceived confrontations as more serious than others. However, each duel served as additional proof that you were destined for a larger crown. And tonight, the crown was set. It hangs on your head, blazing with fire, immovable, undeniable, and no force on earth can remove it. Feel a rush in your thorax. That's not adrenaline. The imprint of heaven itself is etched into your being. This message was prepared specifically for you, which is confirmation. As of now, the hush has broken. Your voice is becoming more raised. Your visibility is improving. There is no halting your rage. You are not leaving this moment in the same way you entered. This is the eternal transition. This is your inevitable rise. This is your destiny, eternally sealed with even greater power and revelation. And it is critical that you do not overlook it. The fire continues to descend, not in drops, but in torrents, devouring every facet of your being. The old is being removed, while the new is being planted with uncontrollable speed. This is not a product of your imagination. Actuality is establishing itself around your name. Every force that was before adverse to you is now yielding, and every blessing that was postponed is flowing toward you. The deer is full of vitality. It is palpable in your bones, quivering with the power of thunder locked within your chest. That is destiny's declaration that you are no longer to be ignored today, since the longer you stay in this moment, the more strongly the fires flare within you. The change becomes more permanent as it gains strength. Examine your spiritual environment. The chains have been gone. The walls are dust, and the route ahead is lighted with a light that is brighter than daylight. This is the moment you've been waiting for. This is why you persevered despite the stillness, anguish, and storms. Because tonight proved that it was never in vain. Your preparations were beginning. You were being refined. You were getting ready for this precise discharge of strength. It's now yours. It is impossible for anyone to take, delay, or dispute it. It is completely, permanently, and eternally yours. Angels continue to release waves. Fire wings extend around you, protecting and encircling you. They hold documents etched with your name in golden flame. Those scrolls offer promises of healing, wealth, love, and victories too great for you to imagine. The most advantageous characteristic is that they do not guarantee the future. Currently, they are just assurances. Oh, it's already alive and unfolding. This is why your thorax is hammering. This is why your consciousness cannot turn away, because you are aware that you have been gifted with this moment. Consider this with extreme gravity. The fire is no longer restricted to your local surroundings. It has completely consumed you. Currently, each inhale is filled with light. From now on, each stride you take will shake the ground. This is the transformation no one expected you to achieve. They anticipated that you would remain mute, little, and broken. However, tonight proves that you are invincible. The sound of your name is booming throughout the upper levels. It is being engraved into volumes that are inaccessible to any human hand. It is being proclaimed in voices so powerful that the entire world bends to hear. This is not the season. It represents a complete life transformation. This moment cannot be relived. You are located in the epicenter of a one-time ignition that will last endlessly. At the moment, the spirits are joyful. They've been waiting for this evening, anticipating your arrival at your conflagration. And as they celebrate, the skies shower them with blessings like rain, rain that restores, rain that builds new doors where you thought there were only walls, and rain that heals.
You've been authorized access.
You are no longer allowed to possess guns. You are proceeding as someone who has been designated and chosen. The energy focused on you will not lessen. It will consume every day, room, and circumstance, making you unstoppable. Please remain at this area until the end, as the waves are still moving. The final seal continues to have an impact on your spirit. If you persist, it will become so deeply ingrained that it will be impossible to remove. Your future is currently resounding with accord. Your tomorrow has already been adjusted to carry this fire, and the world will soon witness your ascension, as you are well aware. Take a big breath and embrace it. Enter without hesitation. This is your time of rebirth. You are the target of this uprising. This was the night when everything changed. I encourage you to pay close attention. The fire that surrounds you is no longer just burning. It is swiftly spreading like a conflagration. Every heartbeat sends sparks into your future. Every second you remain here, another wave of grandeur is released. The tempest is named after you. Inhaling through the air causes it to flash with lightning and reverberate with thunder. This cacophony cannot be muffled by anything or anyone. As a result, your spirit is energized. It is aware of the lack of shackles. It is aware that shadows are dispersing. It is aware that the ascension is already underway. Stay in this place. Please refrain from scrolling. Refrain from blinking. Refrain from disconnecting. Due to the impending final surge, holding on will cause it to crash into your life like an unstoppable wave. The heavens resound with joyful roars. Angels are encircling you in a circle of light, dancing with fire on their wings. They are monitoring, protecting, and honoring your climb. The crown has already been set on your skull. The mantle is currently resting on your shoulders. Additionally, energy is currently flowing through your veins. This is not a hypothetical scenario. It's been completed. This is an unrealistic expectation, and it will be yours forever as of tonight. Do you feel it in your chest? That haste is motivated by pressure. That provides as proof. Your life will be revolutionized from this point forward as the seal is sealed deep within you. Doors will operate well. Before you proceed, the paths will become clear. People will notice the glow you give off before you ever say anything. They'll be unable to understand it. They will be unable to refute it. Because the fires coming from you are too powerful to suppress. This season is unstoppable for you. This is an unmistakable change. This is your eternal ascension. Nothing, not even a shadow, uncertainty, or delay can now stand in its way. The angels continue to orbit. Each flap of their wings stirs the air, which is then repelled by each shadow. They are currently preparing the route ahead of you. Opportunities are quickly approaching. Doors are swinging wide open. And previously unimaginable things are suddenly being bent to accommodate you. You won't be the same tomorrow. You will walk, speak, and think differently. Your cranium has been crowned tonight. Claim it. Carry it. Live it, since it is already yours. To ensure that the fire is forever ingrained in your life, please like this video right now. Distribute it to someone who needs the same breakthrough. They are looking forward to receiving your package. Additionally, subscribe, as this was just another flame. The subsequent event will be a full detonation. The tempest has not yet subsided. The fire has not been quenched. Neither are you. Your vigor, presence, and attentiveness are already valuable. Action is required. Your abundance is ready.